I think for myself, I've worked from Visiting Angels since day one. So it's nice to see a room full of people that understand why I'm at Visiting Angels. And the reasons being because we make that real difference. And it's nice as well to see individuals who've come through the training and now see them in their own particular businesses that are growing, and seeing their teams that have grown as well. So there's been some fantastic keynote speakers. So it's been well worth the trip from Nottingham up to Manchester today. Did anybody do anything before during Visiting Angels? Did we? No, I worked in health and social care. So my journey of coming into health and social care was very much, I worked in Nottingham. I had worked for Capital One Bank. I was one of their first 50 employees. I'd worked there, but felt it wasn't, I don't know. Do you know when you work in a job and you kind of think there's got to be more to it than just earning a wage? So I worked there for 5 or 6 years, did incredibly well there. Left much to the horror of my family because it was a big American company and I'd done particularly well there, and thought, and I know it's going to sound like a cliche, what am I good at? And I'm good with people, and that's how I kind of fell into health and social care. I managed a women's refuge, I managed an award-winning teenage parent project in inner city Nottingham, and some floating support project as well, with not only with Nottingham City Council but with some neighbouring local authorities. Austerity kicked in. And then basically all those accommodation became accommodation hubs, so they didn't need a senior manager overseeing them, and fell into home care. At the time I thought the only old people I kind of know are my mum and my wonderful dad, who's now passed away, because all my relatives live in sunnier places than Nottingham, and didn't realise there was another way of home care, because when I first got into home care it was commissioned piece of work from a local authority. We were on a framework agreement. We'd get a spreadsheet that was sent across every couple of days with a couple of a person's initials on there, their postal code, and what 15-minute visits they needed. Not needed, let me correct myself, what the council was able to pay for. And, 17, 18 different providers will scramble over that. And I didn't realise there was another way of looking at care. But it always made me feel that if my mum and dad ever needed care, that wouldn't be the care that I would give them. Working for a company that looked at home care differently. So previously I'd worked for a home care provider that had done commissioned piece of work by the local authority. So a spreadsheet would come across not only to the organisation that I worked at, but countless organisations across Nottingham City, and there would be keyboard warriors furiously trying to email back, Nottingham City Council saying we can pick up this 15-minute case, we can pick up this 15-minute case. And because I got into home care the way that I did, I didn't realise there was another way. So knowing there's another way, knowing that it's another way that works, knowing that is what I would want, that's what I would have wanted for my dad, absolutely. I would have wanted the opportunity for my dad and my mum to choose who their caregiver was, because they're entering into my mum and dad's house, they're their castle. I would have wanted that reassurance that it would have been the right fit for my dad, so someone my dad would have opened the door to and let in the house, but equally someone who would have had the conversation about them to understand what was important to my mum. And for neither my mum and dad to be rushed in a visit, why wouldn't I want to work for an organisation that does that? But also, more importantly, and this might sound paradoxical because you think of home care, you think of the client, but actually if you think of home care, you really should be thinking about the people that deliver the care and support. Because if you treat them well, show them that they're appreciated and value the work that they're doing, that's going to be fed back to those individuals that they say. And what I always think is, it's that pebble that you drop into the water and that how that resonates. And if you look after somebody, they're going to look after somebody else, and they're going to look after somebody else. And so why wouldn't you work for an organisation that does that? What I've loved about my Visiting Angels journey is the freedom I've been given. The freedom to develop me, but equally the freedom to develop other people. And I think that on an individual basis, I've loved that. I've loved my development journey. But you only want one thing, don't you? There's so much to say. That's a really difficult question, because what you don't want to do is say one thing and then walk away and think, oh, flipping heck, why didn't I say that? Right, being a family. And I know that, that's one of our values. But for me, at the age I'm at, I would only work for a company that shared my values. And family is incredibly important to me. There was a conference that I was meant to be at yesterday, but my mum was more important, which is going to be for me, being with my mum was more important than that. And actually working with an organisation, where that wasn't a problem. It was a telephone call. That's absolutely fine, Trey. And that's really unheard of, that an organisation would understand that family isn't just about the family that you have and the team that work around you, but what's important for you as an individual. So that's one of the best things. I don't know, what's the barometer of success? If success is that I go home in the evening and I know that I've done a good day's work and I can get through the night sleeping without worrying and panicking about work, and I wake up the next morning wanting to go to work, if that's success, yeah, I've been very successful.